What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here. Prime ready to deliver you our week number 6 battle in PRD. This week we are up against Tyler and the Wyoming Whimsicotts. You saw from our team builder yesterday as to what we are bringing and why we're bringing it. He decided to bring the G-Max Corviknight, Single Strike Urshifu, Slurpuff, Alolan Marowak, Quagsire, and the Galarian Darmanitan. So out of what he brought versus like what he could have brought, genuinely I don't know what else I think he would have brought that would have been better for the situation, I guess, is the way to look at it. Yeah, genuinely, like, this feels like the best team he could have gotten here, in my opinion, against me in particular. Not much else on his team I think would have done better. Slurpuff is kind of weird. I'm not entirely certain as to what the Slurpuff is here for. So I do have a lot of things to deal with it, but excuse me. Other than that, like obviously like Water Absorb Quagsire for Kyogre, Lightning Rod, Marowak for Coco, because Alolan Marowak was like the ultimate Coco switch in when Gen 7 started. That's why Alolan Marowak was OU for a little while, because Coco just ran the metagame. And of course, like, why would you not bring these two in this one? Like, it's just pure offensive pressure from the jump. So, I think overall, like, he brought a solid team against me. So let's go ahead and see how that team fares in battle. So, he's going to lead with the Galarian Darmanitan. I lead with the Weezing, because I 100% I was 100% expecting to see Darmanitan come out as the lead. 100%. Because it just kind of feels like something that you would do, especially if it's Scarf. It just applies immediate offensive pressure to the team, and immediately just like it immediately puts you in a bad spot. Like, if you're facing off against this thing, you're put into a bad spot turn 1, right? Well, not with this Weezing set, because now Weezing is not 2 KO'd by anything that Darm can fire off, because I've removed his free built-in Choice Band on entry, which is great. So he's going to go for the Earthquake, and that we chew that. We eat that up. I was like, fuck yeah, and we burn this thing. So Darmanitan, turn 1, neutralized. Hilariously neutralized, which I think is great. Excuse me. I don't know, I woke up kind of gassy this morning. Yeah, so now we have this thing neutralized. He's going to hard switch into the Alolan Marowak. I'm going to get a Pain Split off here. It doesn't get me much, though, because it does have very low HP stat. It's very unfortunate. So I'm just going to go hard into my Moltres here as he goes for the Flame Charge. And then I'm just going to proceed to set up, because I know I can in front of this thing's face. Getting agility up here. I'm just going to Nasty Plot in front of this, as he actually decides to start going for the max Flutterby, probably off of U-turn, to lower my special attack stat, but he does knock me into Berserk range, so I don't lose anything there on the first turn. I fire off a Fiery Wrath here. It doesn't do much, so I'm just going to fire off another Nasty Plot so that I end off still with +2 special attack against this thing, so that no matter what, he either has to kill me this turn, I can get big damage off and he kills me, or I get big damage off and I maybe flinch and then I kill him the next turn. So we do get that situation. He does take out my Moltres, but he's down at 41%, so I've pretty much neutralized the Corviknight. Forced the Slurpuff out with the Weezing, which is nice. I just fired off a Will-O-Wisp just in case he would have tried to Belly Drum in front of me. I don't think he would have. Like, I'm sure he's a competent enough player to know, like, I can't Belly Drum in front of a Weezing. That's stupid. Excuse me. So I just Will-O-Wisp, because I was like, if I burn this thing, then even a Billy Drum set just kind of useless later. And everything else on his team doesn't appreciate a burn. The Marowak is the only thing that, like, would be fine to come in here, but, like, it's not going to do much for him. That's not a play that, like, really gets him anything. So I do get to burn the Corviknight here. I'm going to switch out into Tapu Koko. I have a Choice Specs Tapu Koko, and he's going to U-turn out with the Corviknight into the Quagsire. Now, I did some calcs one of the times that I tried to record this, because I had some issues with it, because I tried to record it while I was editing something and rendering something. He must not have had any HP investment or SPDEF investment. Or at least something like that. Because I don't know what kind of investment he had to have. But the only way that this does 96% through Rindo is if he has no HP investment. And if he just has no HP investment, then I had a roll that was definitely in my favor. That was like pretty close to being in my favor. To just kill this thing turn 1. So, unfortunately, Quagsire does live to see another day, but it's so heavily weakened, it's like it's not really much of a threat anymore. So I'm going to fire off another Grass Knot, though. I knew the Marowak was coming in, but I still get good chip damage on this thing. I'm going to go hard into Kyogre, as he actually sets up his rocks, which is a perfect turn for me, because now, like, he set up rocks there, right? If he had Flame Charged, I would have been in a little bit of a pickle, because then that thing is a little bit of a threat to me, right? But now, I'm faster than him. I am a water type. A scary water type. So he's not staying in here. I'm a Kyogre at full. I'm clicking sub. And then I'm going to be able to kill this thing with Ice Beam. So now we're going to see a series of plays where he's going to keep trying to break my sub. He's going to U-turn with the Darm. Thanks to the burn, he's not going to be able to do it. So I fire off a Surf, and the Corviknight dies as it comes in. And he's going to go into the Urshifu here, go for the U-turn to try to break my sub. He does indeed succeed this time, but my Surf is going to take out his Slurpuff on the way in. So he goes back to the Urshifu. I go into Koko to sack it to the rocks so that I can see what he locks himself into. Now I can fire off a pretty free Stealth Rock here. This was for a couple of reasons. If he wanted to stay in and Wicked Blow, I take 2 of those, guaranteed, no matter what. So I wasn't stressing over that. And this way, like, Darm I know would have taken chip coming in, and Marowak I know is going to take the 25% coming in, because I'm sure that it's Thick Club. And plus the little bit of chip damage on the Urshifu will not hurt. So, like, no matter what, rocks were going to be useful against everything that was left, because I actually needed the rocks chip to guaranteed one shot with Body Press. So that's cool. So he's going to Iron Head me. He does not flinch me here, and I'm just going to fire off a Body Press KO the Darm, which is great. He goes into Urshifu. I am Choppleberry, so I just keep going, and I just chew a Banded. I assume Banded Close Combat, and I Body Press and take him out at -1. And so now it's just kind of like, I kind of had to pick a sack here. And I did decide it was going to be my Kyogre, because I knew I had a guaranteed win with Mienshao no matter what, even if he Flame Charged. Because realistically, like, going to Kyogre, if he Flame Charged there, right, it forces him to Flame Charge a second time in order to even be a threat to the rest of my team, because I have Scarf Mienshao. So, like, he needed, like, 3 Flame Charges, I think, to outspeed me. And that was never going to happen with Kyogre. So going Kyogre forces him to kill Kyogre immediately, which leaves him way, way too slow to be a threat to my team. So Mienshao is going to be able to come in and take out the Marowak, and we are going to pick up a 3-0 dub here in week number 6. Next week we take on Cece. I do not know their pronouns. I do not know their pronouns off the top of my head, so I'm not going to assume their pronouns, because I am not that kind of person. I will not do that. I respect people too much. I will figure it out now, if I can, if they have that readily available for me. I will figure out this person's pronouns so that I do not mess it up in the future. Because that would be rude. View profile. Okay, there's a lot of her on CC's profile. So I'm going to say that CC is her, she pronouns, but I'm not positive. But that is what it looks like, so that's what I'm going to go with. If that is incorrect, I apologize 100%. That's just what I have to go off of. So we face CC next week. She's actually the one who provided the link to the codes for the avatars that we are currently using. Because you can see our opponent had Hala, we have Guzma. Really, really cool that we could just like change our avatars like this. It's really, really fun. I'm definitely going to be mixing around with it a lot. So I think for next week I'm going to have a different avatar than Guzma here. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be fun. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. Until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace.